Hello students of 6th standard, we have started the lesson The Living World. In this lesson today we are going to see some new points, that is nothing but responsiveness to the stimulus and movement. Before this, see in your textbook there is try this. So what you have to do, you have to take a transparent plastic bag. You have to tie it over a leaf of a plant as shown in the figure. It is shown in the figure. You want to take one plastic bag and you want to tie it over a leaf on a plant. You have to observe it after 6 to 7 hours. Then what did you see? You see that there are some droplets of a water which are collected inside the, you can say, bag. It means that the plant excrete water in the form of the vapor. This is the, you can say, try this given in your book. Excretion is a characteristics of the living things. Then see, observe and discuss. Have you experienced this? What happened immediately after the following actions? So what happens, see there? Light flash suddenly into your eyes. What you will do when the light is flashed suddenly on your eyes? You close your eyes. Suddenly you felt a, you can say, pin prick. Then what you do? You remove your hand or your finger from that, or you avoid this, you can say, pin prick. Then see, leaves of a mimosa plant were touched. Then what happens? The plant closes its leaves. Then see, at sunset, lamp on the street or courtyard are light and insects gather on the lamps. What they do? They go towards the light. Then see, next we are going to see here responsiveness to the stimuli and movement. So what does this tells you? See here, living things act in a various way. Living things are acting in a various way. They are responding to the, you can say, stimulus. If you suddenly enter a cow shed, जर तुम्ही suddenly गोठ्यामध्ये गेला, then what happens? See there, the cows and buffaloes, they stand up. Usually what happens? The cows and buffalo, they usually stand up. They start to move here and there. One or two may even start moving. Means what? हंबरणे. They start to ते काय करतात? हंबरायला लागतात. These all are nothing but the movements. Then see, a creeper plant. There is a creeper plant in the courtyard leaves. And what it does, we know that the creeper plant always needs a support to grow. Therefore, what it does, it always searches for the support. Then see, the potted plant. If the potted plant is placed in near a window, what happens? It grows towards the sunlight. That means its growth is seen towards the sunlight. It means that plants also show the movement. All these examples tells us that the plants are also doing a, you can say, movement. Living things move according to their own accord. Means whatever their wishes, like that they are moving, or whatever the movement they want to do, that movement can be done by the living things. The movement or the change taking place in the living thing at such time is their response to the stimulus. Now whenever there is a particular, you can say, movement towards any of the, you can say, stimulus, that is called as a response to the stimulus. And the ability, and this is nothing but the ability of the, you can say, living things which are responding to the stimulus, and it is called as a responsiveness to the stimulus. That means it is according to that, any movement it will be the responsiveness to the stimulus. See there, next one. Responsiveness to stimulus is also one of the characteristics of the living things. Next comes, see in your page number 13, reproduction. See there, living things produce other living things like themselves. What do the living things they are doing? They are producing the young ones which are looking like them. Some animals give birth to the young ones. There are some animals which are giving birth to the young ones. Some are laying the eggs. What are there? Some are, you can say, giving birth to the young ones, and some are laying the eggs. The young ones hatch, you can say, the young ones hatch out of the eggs. Whenever some animals, they are laying the eggs, what happens? They hatch the eggs. Hatch the eggs means what? They give warmth to the eggs, and whenever you can say, period is complete, you can say, young ones comes out of the egg. Then see, their young ones hatches out of these eggs. So what happens? Their young ones are hatching out of the eggs. New plants are produced from the seeds. What we say? There are some plants which are producing from the, you can say, seeds, stems, or there are also some plants which are producing from the leaves of the plants. The process by which living thing generates a new living thing like itself is called as a reproduction, or you can say procreation. So what is that? Reproduction is also one of the characteristics of the living things. Then see, on your page 13, observe and discuss is given. See there, various, you can say, types of the trees are given there. Then again, the goat is given there. Goat, what does it does? It reproduces the young ones. The young ones again becomes mature and again reproduces the young ones. Similarly, that of the trees, what happens? The leaves shed in the some season, and in particular period they again come into the, or they are produced into the, you can say, tree. Then see, a definite lifespan. At a certain stage of a life, living things became capable of reproduction. Whenever you see, there is a certain period, and in this certain period only the living things can reproduce, or they can do the reproduction. Later on, life reproduction stage, their organs become weak, and still later their life comes to end. What happens? As their life goes on, their organs become weaker and weaker, and at last the, you can say, living thing has to die. In other words, you can also say that the living things can die. The lifespan of the different animals and plants are different. Whenever you see the lifespan of the different, you can say, animals, or you can say plants, they are different from each other. For example, the lifespan of the dog is 12 to 18 days, while ostrich lives 50 years. So there is a difference of a lifespan between the animals also. You might have wondered what exactly the living things are, how they came into being, and so on. You might have wondered about the, you can say, life structure of the, you can say, animals, and how they came to an existence, or how they died, or what are the processes they are going down in them. Then see next one, next page. Do you know the lifespan of the giant turtle found on the Galapagos Island in South America is about 170 years. So the giant turtle which is found in South America, it was of year 170 years. On the other hand, the lifespan of the mayfly ranges from 1 hour to 24 hours. So this is the difference between each and every animal. What does this tells us? That there are some, you can say, animals which are living for a longer period, and there are some animals which are living for a shorter period. You might have observed the honeycomb on the wall. What are they made up of? Whenever you see the honeycomb is there, it is made up of a wax. You may have seen, you may have seen the small compartments of the honeycomb. These compartments are joined to form a honeycomb. So what are there in honeycomb? Whenever you see madhaचं पोळं, when you see that, what does you see? There are various compartments in that, and the insects or the honeybees are living in that, and whatever the compartments are there, they are looking like a wall, and they are having the bricks like that. They construct a wall to firmly join the, you can say, bricks together, a cellular structure. Living things are made up of small units. We know that living things, our body is made up of small cells. The cells are nothing but the structural and functional unit of our body. All the actions and processes in our body of the living things, they are brought with the help of these microscopic cells. That means cells are working in our body, and due to the working of the cells only, what happens? Our functions are going on. Some living things are made up of single cell. There are some living things which are made up of single cell. They are called as a unicellular. While on other hand, whenever you see, on the other hand, there are some living things which are having many cells. Such types of, you can say, organisms are called as a multicellular organism. The amoeba is one of the, you can say, unicellular organism. Or you can say, while man, cow, mouse, cockroach, elephants, banyan tree, the onion plant, all these are nothing but the multicellular organisms. Why they are called as a multicellular organisms? Because they contain many cells in them. All the characteristics of the living things are seen in every cell of the living thing, whether it may be the unicellular or multicellular. Whether the organism may be, you can say, unicellular or you can say multicellular. Many of the characteristics are seen in both these unicellular or you can say multicellular structured organism. Cellular structure is the main characteristics of the living things. Even though the number of the cells may vary, even though the animal or the organism may be unicellular or multicellular, what happens? They are having a particular cellular structure. Then see further useful things. See, plants are used for you can say household purposes also. They are used for the industrial purposes also. For example, you can say fenugreek, which is called as a methi. We are eating the methi vegetables in our food. Then see, potato we are eating. Then okara, that is nothing but bhendi we are eating. Apple, banana, these are the fruits that we are eating in our food. Then again see vasaka, that is nothing but adulsa or hirda, beherda, asperges. These all are used as in the they are used as the medicinal plants also. Animals are also very useful to us. Then see dogs, cats, cows, buffaloes. They all are nothing but they are used for the domestic purposes. that means we are rearing these types of the animals. Then again fish, sheep, fowl, they are used as the, you can say, food, while animals like horses, oxen, camel, they are used or they are having useful in various occupations. Then see, earthworm is very useful in agriculture. It is called as the, you can say, friend of the farmer. Then see, harmful living things. Some animals and plants around us are harmful to man. There are some plants and animals which are harmful to man. For example, you can say mosquitoes, flies, which spread the, you can say, diseases for us. Then there are, you can say, cockroaches, mice, rat. These also you can say spread the diseases, or you can say they also destroy the food. Then see, fleas or ticks, they also spread the diseases. Then the bites of some poisonous, you can say, lizards or spiders or snakes, scorpions, that may cause the death. If wild elephant enters human settlement, that may cause a lot of a destruction. That means whenever an elephant, you can say, comes into the residential area, what happens? It destroys the whole thing. Then see, there are some plants too which can be harmful. For example, the dodder, the paramecium and other weeds are there which are destroying the, you can say, agricultural fields, and they can be harmful to us also. Then see, pods of the nettle, or you can say Colaschia leaves, cause itching. They are causing itching. Itching म्हणजे काय? खाजवणे. Pods of nettle. Then Colacacia leaves. Then see, plants like oleander or lantana, they are having the odors. They are having a nice smell. Then see, the datura plant is very poisonous. So we should not touch the datura plant, or we should not eat the datura plant. Uncontrolled growth of fungi and algae is also polluting the water, drinking water. It may cause the also spread of diseases. So all these things, they are, you can say, causing the diseases. Then see, wild animals. There are wild animals which are living into the forest, or they are called as the predators. For example, you can say tiger, lion, wolves, then leopards are there. Sometimes due to the deforestation, what happens? These animals come into the residential area, and these animals may be killed, or they cause the harm to the people also. See there, always remember, many plants and animals in the nature satisfy our needs. You can say the use of such plants and animals should be restricted only to our needs. So what happens? There are some plants and animals which are present in nature. They are satisfying our needs, but we have to use these plants and animals. There should be restriction to our needs. We should not pluck the leaves, flowers and fruits unnecessarily. Animals should not be hunted. We should not hunt the animals. They should not be teased, or even you should not have fun of them. Then see, it is our duty to protect the plants and animals.